Hello viewers, my name is Major Rubaramira Ruranga. I am a veteran, but I work for Operation Wealth Creation as a Director of Health and Community Outreach Campaigns. I joined the Army really in 1980 because that's the time I first went for military training. In fact, I just went out of the newsroom. I was a news reader at that time, and picked a plane and went to Cuba for military training. After the military training, there was elections, 1980, and after elections, then we took off to the bush, and I was among the first ones who actually went to the bush. Retiring was a little bit funny for me because it's not that there was a choice, but somehow I had already got HIV. And the attitude towards people with HIV was a little bit very unfriendly. And somehow I thought it would be better for me to go take on HIV, fight HIV, without having any interferences from the army required work. So I didn't. I didn't stay. I thought I needed to go and work on HIV and AIDS because there was so much ignorance. I was myself really scared that it's the end of life. So I said, let me contribute to the fight against HIV, and nothing more that should stop me. I think it needed me to retire because when you're serving in the army, you have got many other things you're supposed to do. You are not going to disobey any order to go and do what you're supposed to do. But then the work of fighting HIV was so demanding that I think I was not going to be fair doing both of them. It was a hard beginning. Personally, when I tested in 1989, and I found I was HIV reactive, although I had had that suspicion because I had had many symptoms, having contracted HIV in 1985, so many signs and symptoms were visible. But then I thought it is important to look at what one can do. At that time, the only way to fight HIV was to be careful, was to eat carefully, and to learn about some of the medicines, the local medicines, the wananchi knew about fighting certain problems. I think I was taking many herbs, which I had not seen even before. For me, I lived without any idea of medication for about 13 years because the ARVs had not yet appeared. So you lived knowing you would die because there was no medicine at all. There was a denial, and I think all that was denial. So people were looking for who to accuse, to blame. It was referred to the war, Idi Amin's war that came here, I think, in 1979 or earlier, 72, saying that it had come from Tanzania with the soldiers who came to fight Uganda during the fight against Idi Amin. So there was all fear. There was so much fear. And at that time, there was also an introduction of how to fight AIDS, and there were radio and television messages, which were threatening. AIDS kills, and AIDS does not have cure. And that happened every morning, every time before news, there was that advert. AIDS kills. First of all, fundamentally, there was fear. Fear of the unknown. People were told through the radio, there were drums which came on adverts poo, 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 AIDS kills. AIDS does not have a cure. Now, that's bad enough. People did not understand the difference between HIV and AIDS. They thought they were the same, but surely they are not the same. Maybe I'll be explaining later. And therefore, there was fear, and because there was fear, people lived with anxiety, no proper eating, one just waiting as to when the real disease will strike. It used to make people look very, very thin because they were not eating and they were worried. There was that anxiety, and you cannot live and have good life when you have such a feeling. So it was a scare and then poor feeding. As I came out with my HIV status, I felt I need to tell Ugandans to know that HIV is there, and we all have to work hard, not to necessarily respond to the idea that it kills and there was no cure. I thought we needed to fight it. And I said, we can fight HIV. But unfortunately, people did not understand what that meant. So I said, now in order to be able to fight, I have to create a mechanism. I had to create a way to invite other people so that we can jointly fight. So I created a national guidance and empowerment network of people living with HIV so that I get members. And indeed, I quickly collected members. And we started talking as a team that yes, AIDS can kill, but while we are alive, we should be useful to society. We should do something. We should try and make sure that other people do not get it, because there is a way that you can live without getting it if you behave. Oh, stigma was amazing. I think I'm a hard man, I must now say, because after I announced myself, seen on radio, heard on radio and seen on television, and everybody who met me, even on the street, they say, that is a man of AIDS, the children, everybody. But I said, yes, that's how it is. I opened myself, and I should be ready to let these people know that I have kept living. Therefore, others will live. So it ceased to be a problem for me. It became an advert for me. Yes, I do, but I live. So I think others should be able to live. I really would like to, once again, pay a lot of tribute to the way His Excellency the President took courage. He's such a courageous man, and without him, I don't know what would have happened about HIV. He actually did campaign as if it was a political campaign. He went to all districts and talked about HIV, talked about behavior, how to avoid getting HIV. He had already read a lot about it, and he really was not even threatened by the international community, saying that if he continues talking about HIV, then the rest of the world will fear to come to Uganda, and tourism will fail. But he took courage and said, but my people are more important than tourism. And he went on talking, and indeed, that's one of the things that gave me courage. If the president does not even fear losing market for his country, now who am I? I'm just a single man. I think I need to be open. So his approach is what actually encouraged me to say, let me join him secretly. But I actually went and talked to him, and he gave me a lot of encouragement and support, which enabled me to start the National Guidance and Empowerment Network of people living with HIV, which we called NGEN. Indeed, I think the family of the president, and particularly also Honorable Mama Janet Kataha, you can't imagine what really happened. She started organizations about HIV. There was that openness. I think that openness and encouragement encouraged some of us who eventually became open. I want to thank again General Saleh because I think all those names were created by him, but they were really relevant. Being here as an army officer who is retired and being able to go out and talk about HIV encouraged even those officers and men out there to start looking at how they must find out, do they have HIV or not? Because I made it clear that the only thing that kills you first is something that you don't know. But the thing you know, you always find how to fight it. And having come here gave me an opportunity to access all army units and go out and talk about how to fight HIV, and also to tell them, by the way, it's not as if we used to think. You are not going to die if you are careful. All we need is to be careful and encourage other people not to get HIV infected. The vision behind, the main thing, and I think this has always been the agenda for His Excellency, because from many speeches you would have heard him talk about, he says, when you are poor, you actually cannot talk about development, because development is about wealth. And I think that is why even this institution is called Operation Wealth Creation. But for people to operate, for people to acquire wealth, they must be able to work. And the reference here that I have always made is that, but in order to work, you have to be healthy. In order to produce, you have to be healthy. Poor people, people who are sick, cannot be productive. So that's the agenda. The agenda is transformation of our country can only come if people are willing to work. And I think it is important to note that the president because the parish development model. Parish development model is about the ordinary people of Uganda. It's not about the rich people, by the way. The rich people will eventually be coming in. But originally, it was to help the ordinary people of Uganda to participate in the money economy of our country. It had never been. I am 78 years old. So I saw independence come. I lived before independence. But the idea that the ordinary person, mwananchi, to start thinking that I can go to government and seek for seeds. I can go to government and get goats or even chicken. That had never been there before. So the whole program is about how this country would emancipate the people so that they are proud of their country and government. Knowledge is power. And one thing, again, I would want to reiterate and thank the president for was he was always giving people courage. The creation of activities for veterans is a wonderful thing, because while you go to Chimaka or to any other place to train as a soldier, when you are retiring, there is no training to show you how you are going to live without the army. And remember, people live in the army and live the army life for a long time. So now you are going. What exactly is going to happen? But the creation of all the things that Operation Wealth Creation is participating in, including sending people out there to work with the people in agriculture, to be part of the people, but as well as show that leaving the army is not the end of life. Actually, it might be even the beginning of life. Because while they are there, they are also trying to see how to build their own incomes, their own wealth. So I think it has actually caused another access according to the targets of His Excellency the President. There is one thing we have forgotten. when you look around now, you don't see the strengths of TASO, you don't see AIDS Information Center, they are not visible. There is an assumption that we taught people and they know, but failing to understand that they taught a certain generation and many other generations are coming. Somehow, the enthusiasm that we had at the beginning is not visible now. And that is why the virus continues to spread. I would not be part of an assumption that 2030 will mean the end of HIV or AIDS. Not at all. Because in some districts and even in regions, HIV is even going higher than it is spreading higher than it used to. So we must make sure that the war against HIV/AIDS is there, and in fact we need to reactivate what we did in the beginning because it continues to be a big challenge. Drugs are very expensive. I can't imagine how much government has to go through to be able to pay for drugs against HIV. They are extremely, extremely expensive. But it also is wrong for us to assume that the foreign countries will keep giving us money free. It's not right. We need to learn to stop the spread of HIV, because that will reduce the need for people to go to hospital. I keep telling people that there is a difference between a person living with HIV and a person being ill, having AIDS. I always talk about the word disease. People call it a disease, but actually it is disease. If you put a hyphen after S, it is a disease. You are diseased. You don't have to be HIV to be diseased. You are diseased by any problem that come within your family or within your life. Any problem. It does not have to be HIV. Can be anything else. But then, as long as you are able to work despite your disease, you are not ill. Now that's the difference between disease and being ill. When you are ill, then you need medication. So illness goes to medication, while disease needs education. And therefore being able to recover from that kind of diseaseness and be ready to fight and work. Now, our people don't understand that. And we have left HIV as a shy disease. By the way, we have many other shy diseases, like TB, and currently there is what we call rectal cancer. Rectal cancer is actually worse than HIV because it attacks both male and female in the same way. And then nobody wants to talk about it. It's a gay-related illness because many people start fearing, and because of this fear, they want to keep quiet, and the spread goes on. But what is more important is the creation of domicile system of educating people about HIV. This we have not done. Going to homes, sitting with families, helping the families to learn how to fight HIV within the family and then within their neighbors. If we did this a long time ago, like Muganda knows their culture, ndiwangonge. I'm not going to marry a girl who I cannot. We have developed no culture. Instead, we have lost it. And because of that, HIV spreads, because the old ones do not talk to the young ones. Even this title that I have, Director of Health and Community Outreach Campaigns, was aimed indeed at as OWC, our being able to go outside and talk to the people about the need for transforming our country by working hard. And of course, health is very fundamental. Health is wealth. So there was this need of educating people to make sure that they fight against HIV and many other diseases anyway, because they needed to be healthy to produce. And this has gone all over. I started way back by even training all officers, also to be able to train other people. And this has worked in a way. I think we have made a difference. One of the problems that we have in Africa is that people do not have any inkling about their health. People don't seem to understand that health can only be caused by the way we behave. So our participation is to awaken our people to understand that you need, as an individual, to care about your life. And that's when you can be a productive person. Otherwise, you wouldn't. We are part of UPDF. Operation Wealth Creation is part of UPDF. The officers who retired, some are not retired, who are working with Operation Wealth Creation, are participating in the parish development model. We also actually participated, or I could say, the OWC and the parish development model is the same. This was again General Sare's idea. And we sat down here, talked about it, until eventually when I think General Sare appreciated that now this would need to go to the community, then we handed it over to Ministry of Local Government so that it can reach the sub-counties, because all that is under local government. But we are still participating. We are still using our eyes, using our brains to see what is happening and to keep guiding on how it can continue. So definitely, Operation Wealth Creation, which is a child of UPDF, makes big contribution in the change of this country. There are programs in the army, programs even about HIV. Those programs do address both HIV and the need. His Excellency the President has always told the soldiers that you need to know that you have to make yourself who you are. Just one job is not enough. So working, even for the soldiers who are still in force, is there. They also have to work out, plan, grow coffee, maybe have cattle. Most of our soldiers are not very poor. There is testing of HIV everywhere. The army units have got health centers, and these health centers do participate in counseling soldiers and helping them to know their status. Testing is not a must in many ways, except if you are going out for training. But otherwise, the HIV activity is incorporated in the health system of UPDF. I would definitely want to allude to the activism General Muhoozi Kainerugaba has started. There is no sleeping, as the motto now goes on in this country for this Kisanja. I think he's a very active young man. He is a very serious young man, and he makes things work. He has not left any stone unturned, and he emphasizes that work must work, the soldiers must be seen. I see how he is even building barracks. He has improved. Even the increments of salaries for soldiers is actually a result of his care for soldiers and his activism. I think he came in time when there were already structures, but definitely this is a field which he talks about wherever he has to talk with. For me, the first person I would thank is His Excellency the President. His courage and candor that enabled Uganda to get help from other countries to manage HIV would not have been probably done by any other person. So yes, the fight against HIV and the models that we have developed are a result of his desire to have healthy people in this country. Yes, I need to thank General Saleh, because especially in the army and in Operation Wealth Creation, his not being there would have meant that there is no HIV activity in Operation Wealth Creation. So I'm so grateful for this government, unlike many other governments, for taking seriousness against HIV and trying to encourage especially the young people to fight against HIV. But I still want to encourage. I want to even demand that more work needs to be done. We need to stop this idea of thinking that everybody knows about HIV. No, actually, most of the people, the new generation, does not know, and they are the majority. So we need to go back as we started and do more campaigns, more activism in order to help the young people from acquiring HIV, which affects the economy. Because wealth is about health. Healthy people work, and that's what we need.